Out to Cali, the Jays go, Ben. They split with the Cards. They took 2 out of 3 from the Reds. Maybe they can go shock the Angels, who have been absolutely earth scorchers. What do you say?
They got a shot. It's definitely an interesting Angels team. They're a lot better than we've seen them in the past. Their pitching is good. This is also a team that was swept by the Rangers not that long ago. So
That's true.
yes, I think there's opportunity here. They're not the most consistent team in baseball, but the Jays are also not the most consistent team in baseball. So I think it'll be an interesting series. I have no idea how it's going to go.
We'll give you Thursday's Scaries, hype trains, play He Was a Jay, and we'll give you what happened on this day in Blue Jays history. It's all on Locked On Blue Jays, and it's right now.
And it's right now, Ben, isn't it? Yes, it is.
You are Locked On Blue Jays, your daily Toronto Blue Jays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Blue Jays your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast. An amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. Visit rockauto.com and tell them Locked On sent you. I love a good technical difficulty, Ben. It's just
it's huge from me. Huge from me. 45 seconds in.
All right. The Angels are hosting the Jays this upcoming series. It should be pretty exciting. Jays fans get to watch Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and the real star of the team, Taylor Ward, go to battle against the hometown Toronto team. Let's talk Thursday Scaries. Who on this Angels team strikes fear into your eyes, Benjamin?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answers are going to be Trout and Ohtani, and both of us, I think, are going to stay away from that because they're clearly...
We're not posers, man. We're not.
Come on. They're clearly, arguably the two best players in the world. So there's no real thought that they wouldn't be scary. So we're going to go off board, at least for me, a little bit off board with starting pitching because the pitching has been much better this year for the Angels. That's why they're good. And in Game 4, there's a great pitching matchup lined up. Jose Barrios on the mound for the Jays, and he's going against my scary for this week, Patrick Sandoval. This dude has been unconscious this year. He's got a 3-1 record, but the Angels have won 6 of his 7 starts, and he's only getting better and better. You go back to his last start, albeit against Oakland, 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Wow. He got taken out with 92 pitches in that game, and if you're remembering what Alek Manoah was like in the dugout when he was trying to stay in for the 9th against Cincinnati, it was pretty similar from Sandoval trying to tell Joe Madden that he should not be being taken out of the game because he was only at 92 pitches and trying to at least get through the 8th inning. He's a guy who has admitted that he's essentially going to try to complete every game he's in, which not every pitcher is trying to do anymore. A lot of them are just trying to go all out for 6 innings and then come out of the game. Sandoval is a guy who can go deep. He's gone into the 7th inning or later 3 times already in his 7th starts, and he's gone into the 6th inning, all but his first 2 starts. He's really dirty. You're not really going to get a ton of runs off him, and considering the Jays haven't really gotten a ton of runs off a lot of guys this year, a pitcher who hasn't allowed more than 3 in any start is pretty scary for me.
I think it's kind of crazy that the Angels have gone from a team that had notoriously mediocre starting pitching to just dogs all around. It's kind of
crazy. It's crazy.
It's Ohtani, Sandoval. How about Reed Detmer's coming out of nowhere throwing a no-hitter? Everybody has just been on for them, and it's kind of just been exciting to watch. So I respect that pick, Patrick Sandoval. The guy's dealing. I love a good southpaw. That's a good pick.
Somewhere CJ Wilson is punching air. He's like, I should have been this, but it's okay. He was great with Texas, so it's fine.
He was. I'll go back to the offensive side of the ball. I already named this guy in this episode, but he's absolutely just scorching the earth right now. Taylor Ward has kind of shown up and just acted as Mike Trout's long forgotten son. He might be 28 years old, so I mean maybe that makes things a little bit difficult. But we're not in the business of semantics and logistics here. The guy's hitting .370, and he leads the MLB in on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. He's got a .481 on-base percentage. He's slugging at 7. I mean, this guy's putting up Babe Ruth numbers. A 713 slugging percentage, almost 1,200 OPS. Like, what? What are you talking about? Guy's just disgusting. It's just ridiculous. Came out of nowhere. Ridiculous.
Yeah, the crazy thing is it's not like I would almost be more normal with it if he was like a rookie who came up and we are like, oh my goodness,
He's
this guy's the next
28.
thing. Yeah, he's played like multiple major
Fifth
league
year.
seasons.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
I don't know what happened. You say Babe Ruth. I saw some comparing his first 40 games to Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And, he could honestly have a bad next three quarters, like not a terrible, but like a below average
Average.
next three quarters
Yeah.
and still finish with ridiculous numbers because
Dude's
it's
ridiculous.
turning from small sample size into like, okay, we're a quarter of the way into the year and he gets on base half the time. So yeah, he's really scary. Never want to see this, but for Jay's pitching, I guess the technical positive is he has been a little bit banged up. He ran into the wall really hard. He also plays a good outfield. He ran into the wall really hard recently. So I don't think you'll necessarily see him in the outfield. That doesn't mean you won't see him hit in the series. And that's kind of where you're scared of him most. It's absolutely ridiculous that Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout are maybe the second and third best MVP candidates on their own team right now.
Just stupid. And the other thing is the guy hasn't played more than 65 games in a season and hasn't had higher than a 769 OPS in a season. So for him to come out and just be the best player in baseball unequivocally right now, I mean, this is the reason I love the sport. Anybody can be the best player. It doesn't matter who you are. Jose Trevino did it last night, and Taylor Ward does it tomorrow. So I love it, Ben. I just love Taylor Ward. Who do you love on the Blue Jays side?
First of all, Jock Peterson was the best player in the sport last night. The hype train for the Blue Jays. I gotta go with my guy who, after everyone was ragging him on Twitter, has bounced back because he's been hitting the ball hard, and it's an easy pick. But my hype train is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He just picked up a 2-hit game. He just picked up his 8th home run of the year, and I think that. Yeah, he's just so good, and it's gonna happen. The main thing that's changed for him is the chase rate. If you go look at some of his advanced numbers, his strike zone, he's not lining up the ball the way that he was in terms of swinging at good pitches, only good pitches, which is what he was doing last year, and not swinging at bad pitches. But he's still hitting the rockets, just hitting the ball super hard. Even the game before yesterday, the first game, he had 3 balls hit 105 miles per hour or harder. All 3 were outs. So, he's going to get right, and I think we're starting to hopefully see that come through because if you keep hitting the ball 108 miles per hour, you're going to get hits. That's just kind of how baseball works.
For me, I'd like to take a call to action here. Can we as a people, as a community of baseball fans, start to acknowledge that Santiago Espinal might be the best second baseman around? I mean, the guy
Are you saying he should be an all-star?
Absolutely.
Because we're getting close. We're getting close to when
100%.
that talk starts to heat up.
Jays fans, vote for Santiago Espinal. The man deserves some love in his life, and I think he'll get it at Dodger Stadium. He just got his hitting streak snapped, which spanned, 1,000 games, it seemed like. But it just got snapped in the last game against the Cardinals. He was somehow one of the only guys who didn't get a hit in that game. What you might be thinking, Bones, but now he's not going to hit well. No. It's not how it works. You're going to get angry Santi now, and he's just going to go out there and hit the ball even harder. The guy does not settle. Last year, he had a 312 or 311 batting average. Nobody talked about him. He's pissed. The man's pissed. He's just going to come out, be an all-star, be that dude, be a dog. He's a king, and I love him.
I love him too. No, he's a stabilizing force in that lineup. He's the highest average hitter on the team, and he's not low on the OPS rank either. He's not a guy that's just hitting singles and not walking or finding his extra base hits. He's mostly hitting singles, but he's been doing pretty well on the other facets as well. We both probably took pretty safe picks, but it's a tough Angels team, so we kind of had to invest in the safest guys.
Yeah. All right. Ben, let me tell you a little bit about car parts. Okay. I don't know if you're looking to upgrade what you got in terms of vehicle maintenance and everything. But if you're looking, this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto with the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models It's now impossible for your local auto chain or local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. Why endure often pointless and seemingly intimidating questioning like, is your Odyssey an LX or an EX? Sir, I don't even have an Odyssey, okay? And wait while the person behind the counter or by the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand their warehouse happens to carry. You have computers with access to rockauto.com at home and in your pocket. Save time, save money, use Rock Auto, man. Why choose to spend 30%, 50%, even 100%, Ben, I've seen you do it, more for the same parts from a chain store or car dealership? I mean, there's a guy, his name's Brad Klein of Locked On Syracuse. His Honda Odyssey fuel pump is $353 from the chain store. It's only $216 from Rock Auto. Get it in your head, Brad. Come on, man. Rock Auto prices are reliably better or lower for every customer, and it's a family business. Come on, man. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Right, Locked On in the How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com.
It's a darn family business, Brad. Come on. All right, let's keep going. Thank you for making you Locked On Blue Jays your first listen today, by the way, for your Thursday episode. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast, recaps of MLB games with analysis from our local experts, taking fans through the season like no other network, free and available wherever you get your podcast. All right, Bones, we're going back to it here for our Thursday episode. It is He Was a Blue Jay. How are you feeling about it? You won your last one. You're worried? You won 2 on your last one.
Yeah, well, you told me previous to the episode this is a doozy, so I'm a little bit shook.
A bit of a doozy. It's a season 2. We still have 2 season 1s left, but I would say they're on the lighter side. However, inside baseball, if you get the season 2 one quick, you're also going to do a season 1 today as well. But last time, I don't think you'll get this one quick, though. Could be wrong, but it's a little.
Keep doubting me. Keep doubting me. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I shouldn't doubt you because you're 15-2. And last episode, you got both guys I threw at you, which were Jared Saltalamacchia and Eric Sogard. Really thought I was about to slip Sogard by you. But
you want to hear a fun fact about Jared Saltalamacchia?
Sure.
He will be the assistant coach of the Bourne Braves this season in the Cape Cod
Cape Cod Baseball League. That's cool. That's very
good for
cool.
Salty.
Yeah, good for Salty. Well, I mean, he's going to have to take on some other great catching assistants like Mickey Tettleton, assistant coach of the Chatham Anglers, but I digress. Multiple-time All-Star. Great Wikipedia page, by the way. And now I'll focus this again. All right. So it's He Was a Blue Jay. If you haven't seen it before, I pick a Blue Jay that hasn't been a Blue Jay for a while, or at least was not really known as a Blue Jay. And I give Bones 5 hints about this guy's career. He's got about 30 seconds or 3 guesses in between each hint to try and guess who the player is. If he gets it right in the 5 hints, he wins. If he taps out, then he loses. Traditionally, I think the sweet spot has been around hint 4. It's probably like 4.1 or 4.2. And the career high.
Like Wordle statistics, I'd have like a lot of hint 4s.
Yeah. But your career high is 2, which is Phil Necro. You never got a 1, and I don't think you ever will, the way I set it up. Look, if you get this guy on 1, we're not playing this game anymore. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right. Hint number 1. This southpaw debuted in 1986 and played for teams in the current National League for a decade before switching to a team in the current American League, the Jays.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Incorrect.
Imagine that, though. That would have been crazy if I got that.
That would be crazy. He was never a Blue Jay, as far as I'm aware.
No, he like disappeared at the end. It was weird.
He was a Padre.
Southpaw in the 80s that played for National League teams. And now, what was the hint? Can you say it again?
This southpaw debuted in 1986 and played for teams in the current National League for a decade before going to the Jays, which would be his first team in the current American League.
So it was like a Brewer, is what we're saying here. You get a little bit of Ben smirk there for the audio listeners. Ben smirked a little bit. That's how we know it's a Brewer.
It's good deduction by you, and I will say I don't believe there's any other team that fits that bill.
I don't know.
Well,
Who's a Brewer.
Oh no, because Houston would have been the other way. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Houston's the other way. Jimmy
Yes, good
Key's in
deduction
my
by
head,
you.
but he's clearly a Brewer, or he's clearly a Blue Jay, and I don't think he was a Brewer.
Didn't
So
play a
we'll move
decade
on to
before
hint,
he got to the
hint
Jays.
2 or hint 3. What are we at?
We're on hint 2.
Okay,
that was a long hint 1, though. A lot was packed into that, to be fair. And you deduced the little Easter egg, so good for you. Hint number 2. He was a 3-time All-Star, all with the first team he played for.
I don't know 80s Brewers. Like, what do you think I know?
You know this guy. You know this guy, but I did tell you it was a doozy.
I know this guy. I'd like to know. So, you told me that he played for the Brewers and the Jays, right? That's all you told me?
Well, yeah, I smirked. When you get on to hint 3, more will be uncovered. But for now,
okay. So he was a 3-time All-Star.
I mean, he definitely played for the Jays. Okay. That I can tell you.
And
he was a 3-time All-Star, all with the first team he played for.
He was a Brewer then. Like, this guy was a good Brewer. And I know who he is. Like, do I know who he is? Maybe because he's like a broadcaster or something. Huh. All right, I'll move to hint 3.
Career path: Milwaukee, the Cubs, the Pirates, the Jays, the Diamondbacks, the Jays again, and then Philadelphia.
Jamie Moyer.
Not Jamie Moyer.
Oh,
Jamie Moyer's old. Jamie Moyer is old, but he did not pitch in 1986.
I thought I had it.
Jamie, I need to go defend my man Jamie Moyer while you're thinking.
He's old. He's like 100.
He's old, but he's not that old. Oh my goodness, Jamie Moyer debuted in 1986.
I knew it. Look at that. It was a great. That was a fantastic guess. Because he ended with Philly, so I was like, it has to be.
Sneaky Jamie Moyer ended with Colorado, but he mostly ended with Philly.
Oh, you're right.
5 years, but then he had one. But he was never a Blue Jay. Wow, Jamie Moyer pitched in 1986 and 2012. That's crazy.
It was crazy.
That's
okay.
crazy.
He finished his career as a Philly. Is that going to help me?
My dad was in university when Jamie Moyer debuted, and I was 12 when he retired. That's nuts.
This is really tough.
Do you want hint number 4? While you're thinking, for everyone at home, I'll just recap. Southpaw debuted in 86 and played for current National League teams for a decade before switching to a current American League team in the Jays for the first time. He was a 3-time All-Star, all with the first team he played for. And his career path is Brewers, Cubs, Pirates, Jays, Diamondbacks, Jays, Phillies. You want hint 4?
Yeah, give me hint 4.
Hint 4. He's a prominent MLB Network analyst.
There it is. That's what we knew it was coming. Dan Plesac? Yeah.
Correctamundo. You are absolutely on it.
Let's go.
We're kind of in an in-between here. Do you want one of the kind of...
Yeah, I want another one. Yeah,
give me one. You're definitely going to get these ones, which is demoralizing, but congratulations.
You can't say that, because what if I don't?
If you get Plesac and you don't get... I didn't think you were going to get Plesac today, I'll be honest, but good for you. Hint 5. If you hadn't got it there, tell me if you would have got it for sure here. He's the uncle of a current Cleveland Guardians pitcher.
Yeah, I would have gotten that.
You would have got it?
Zach,
okay. Hit me with the line, by the way.
He was a Blue Jay?
Did you know he was a Blue Jay? Do you know that much about the career of Dan Plesac?
But I did know he was a Brewer. So
yeah, good Brewer. One of the bright spots of that. He was the closer for them in the late 80s, and he was an All-Star 3 years in a row, and then never again. All right. Okay, let's do this one. Hint number 1. He pitched to 2 World Series titles in our lifetime.
He pitched in them? Or he won the game that won the World Series?
No, just he was a pitcher in the playoffs with 2 World Series winning teams. Right. I was kind of ominous with these hints I'm now seeing. I wrote this one almost first. So
okay.
I hadn't determined my style yet. All right, let's move on. Number 2. This is just me like setting you up to be mad, I guess, because after saying that, he won a Cy Young and an ERA title in our lifetime.
Okay, like in our lifetime though, could be like 2003. Like,
yeah, I guess for the people at home who like don't know our bios, 21st century would be our lifetime.
okay.
I'm counting the 2000 season, even though both of us were born after it. Just to let you, I'm not saying whether it was 2000 or not, but I'm just counting it. By the way, whenever for any hints that I say in our lifetime, it's birth year.
I'm gonna hope that this is like 2008 or something after.
I'm gonna pull up his baseball reference page while you're doing that because I wasn't expecting to use
two World Series. Now we have to think, who's the guy who went to 2 World? Like Lincecum, no shot. He was a J. He won a Cy Young, and he had near until Kershaw. No.
Lincecum was
Verlander,
almost
no.
a J, but that's
Really?
a story for a different. Yeah, it's a story for a different time.
He's like my favorite player ever. All right, I'll move on here.
Okay, so the first 2 hints. Let me pull my trusty hint pad back up. He won a Cy Young ERA title in our lifetime and pitched to 2 World Series titles in our lifetime. Hint number 3, which is brutal. He played a large portion of his career for the current oldest manager in MLB.
So Joe Madden, is he the oldest one? Oh no, it's Tony La Russa. Okay, that guy's old. So he's a Cardinal. Chris Carpenter. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, that's easy. Chris Carpenter is it. That hint is just like, let's hand him the
yeah, that's very easy.
the win, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
you had a poor
easy
style
hint.
back then.
Yeah. And then hint 4 gives you nothing. Like why I have to read you hint 4 and hint 5. Hint 4, his first and last name start with the same letter. So just in case you thought it might be Adam Wainwright. It's Chris Carpenter. Why didn't I make that hint 3? That would have been a way better hint 3. And then hint 5 was he was a J from 97 to 02. Like way too prominent of a J for me to put him down.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say, like, I definitely knew he was a J. Like the tagline.
Yeah, so I'm kind of happy to burn him and just get that one over with. But you are up to 17-2, and season 2 is not going as well as I thought it would. I will say it. Before we take a quick step, you are 3-1 in season 2, so that's pretty good.
Kevin Cash got me.
You're 17-2 overall. You could slap that on your resume because with spring in the air, it's time for renewal and growth, personally and professionally. As your small business grows, LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people, including Locked On Syracuse host Brad Klein. Him being on there is why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number 1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. He's just eating up jobs left and right. They keep hiring them, but everyone likes it because of that. And if you're a business that's looking to hire Brad Klein, or I guess not Brad Klein, LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
That was a beautiful ad read, Ben. So good that I had to mute myself during it. It is time for a little bit of this day in Blue Jays history. Ben and I don't do this way too often, but I thought it was good to do today because some pretty exciting things happened today. Yeah. Ben, do you want to go first? You want me to go first? Up to you, man.
I don't want to spoil it, but we have semi-similar this days.
You go last. You go last.
Okay, sure.
So mine happened in the great season of 2015. A lot happened in this year. Of course, there was that great bat flip from that one guy. He hit a ball.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Whole thing. Yeah. I don't even know who that guy is. There was an MVP on that team. He's been controversial lately, but we're not going to focus on that today.
Yeah.
Actually, we kind of will because he's the kind of the focal point of my.
Yeah, we're not going to focus on the controversy because people more intelligent than us have more intelligent things to say. So,
yeah. Anyway, in this game against the White Sox on May 26th, 2015, Josh Donaldson was in the midst of a pretty crazy stretch where he would hit 5 home runs in 4 games on his way to being named the 2015 AL MVP, which is pretty exciting for Jays fans. In this game, the Jays went into the 9th inning down 9-7, and Josh Donaldson stepped up against former Yankee legend David Robertson, and he just hit an absolute dinger to deep right field. Josh Tolley scored on that. Jose Reyes scored on that. Jays win that game. And what's funny about this season was that this win was their 22nd of the year, while they had 26 losses. So they started the year pretty bad. I mean, it was a rocky start to the season, and they won a couple great win streaks. Of course, they made a deep playoff run. They had some great names on that team. Liam Hendricks was on that team, which a lot of people seem to forget. A great Jays team and a pretty good Jays day.
Yeah, I mean, you forget a lot of the time about Tolley and Reyes being on that team because the Jays end up swinging a big trade to the Rocks to get Troy Tulowitzki, and of course they bring in LaTroy Hawkins and Mark Lowe and David Price and go 41-17 in their last 58 games. So pretty huge finish to the year. I'm doing something kind of along the same track, but we're going to dial it back to May 26th, 2004, 18 years ago. And I like this one because it's coming up against the opponent the Jays are playing today, then known as the Anaheim Angels. Now, pretty great pitching matchup. The Jays get, Jays legend Pat Henkin, who would be a pitching coach for the Jays. On the other side, starting for the Anaheim Angels, is the large, attractive, big, sexy Bartolo Colon, but when he was smaller, but just as sexy. And son of, or father of, now Jays star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero was hitting third. So kind of a fun Angels team. Benji Molina, who would end up being a Jay, was on that team as well. And the reason I like this game, the Jays go down early, but they show a lot of fight. They're trailing 5-1 as they head into the bottom of the 6th inning. And that's when the bats just start to turn on. Carlos Delgado, 2-run dinger, scores Vernon Wells. Those two had some overlap a little bit. That's kind of a fun time in Jays history. Legendary Blue Jay Reed Johnson ends up knocking in a run, and the Jays are clawing back a little bit more. They're down 5-4 as they go to the bottom of the 9th. Troy Percival comes into the game, and Vernon Wells spoils the party. He ties it up with a single. They intentionally walk Carlos Delgado to pitch to Greg Zahn. Not a terrible decision if you're going to look at the statistics, to be quite honest. I would probably have done the same as Mike Scioscia did. But you know what? Zahn says, frick you, man. And he gets a single to score Vernon Wells. And that is how the Jays win on a walk-off. Pardon me, not Vernon Wells. But he does get a single to knock in a run. That makes it a 6-5 win for the Jays. The Jays started that year off poorly, too. 2004, they were 19-27 at the time of the win. They just also finished the year poorly. They were really bad that year. they went 67-94. But it was the year that was it the year that John Gibbons got hired, or was it the year that John Gibbons got fired? Let's find out. It was the year John Gibbons got hired for the first time, and then he would end up coming back later and be the manager of the Jays during the 2015 and 2016 years. So John Gibbons' first tenure with the Jays, kind of up and down, but it laid the foundation.
Big. Ever since you said Reed Johnson, I've just been studying his baseball reference page because that was a guy that I forgot about. Reed Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
What a pull. I mean, that guy, he was kind of the king at times of the weird facial hair but bald head. That was kind of his MO. He was an interesting looking character. All right, thank you for making Locked On Blue Jays your first listen today. Now make your second listen to Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert, our guy, PFS, Paul Francis Sullivan, call him Sully. He brings humor, passion, and unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Follow the #1 daily league-wide podcast, Locked On MLB, on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Ben and I will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you later.
Peace.